So the traders now are collecting cabbages. They're harvesting them, looking for the big ones. Okay, so you can see once they identify one that is big enough, which is about, one cabbage is about 3 kilos. Okay, that is the manual way of harvesting. They're looking for cabbages that are big and harvesting. So another person is harvesting at that distance, and here there are 3 people harvesting cabbages. Okay, they are looking for 1,000 cabbages that will fill a tractor and transport them to the market. So cabbage harvesting looks like it's a women's work. They really like it, and they know which cabbage is good. I think it is because they do the cooking themselves. That is why they are the ones who are doing the trading with cabbages. So here at Safe Farm, we shall expand the harvesting. We shall expand the cabbage growing, because we have seen that it is a good crop that has money. Every day there are some people coming to harvest. And the fact that we have intercropped with tea, as you can see in the background, there are people harvesting tea inside the cabbages. And these cabbages seem to have attracted some diseases, especially what I would rather call it late blight, akin the one of tomatoes, because you can see the cabbages have changed color. Okay, they've turned kind of silverish or yellowish. It's because of blight, a fungal disease, which is prevalent when the weather changes, when the temperature is reduced to something like 17 degrees, then the cabbages start to shrivel and change color. Pests on these cabbages are mainly insects, and those insects, they prefer to make holes on the leaves. So we have to control the pests on the cabbages, and the best way to do that is by planting some maize plants inside the cabbage field. So you can see this maize plant that has really been perforated a lot on the leaves by insects. Those insects would have targeted the cabbages, but because they prefer to attack maize plants, then they migrate from the cabbages to the maize. And if you check the cabbages that are close to the maize plant, they are a bit safer. They have not been invested so much by the insects. So you can see these cabbages, they are a bit safer, unlike the maize, which has been invested heavily by the insects. There are several insects. There are cutworms, stalk borers, in some cases also spider mites, sometimes also invest, and armyworms. If armyworms are around, they would also invest a lot. They would also invade the crops a lot. But because of the botanical control system that we have put in place, we're able to put up crops that attract the insects and be able to protect your intended crop. So this is the non-conventional method of protecting the crops without using pesticides, because you can imagine that in the world at the moment we are very concerned with the environment, so we try to avoid use of chemicals and use organic methods of management. We don't use herbicides, we don't use pesticides. We also try to use organic fertilizers. Especially in this farm, we have used a lot of manure, and that is why the cabbages are doing very well. The manure is from cows. We have cows that are housed, and we provide feeds. Sometimes we also give them cabbages. Sometimes we give them maize. Sometimes we give them napier grass and all sorts of grasses. These cows, they change the green material into manure. So instead of composting, the cows will change the green material into manure within 3 days. But if you make compost manure, like in this heap here, this heap is a heap of leftovers of the animal feed. This is chopped neighbor grass and silage that has been left over. So we are trying to make compost. This compost will take about 3 months to be ready. But if you feed it to the animals, if the materials are fed directly to the animals, in 2 days, we already have composted manure from the cow, and we treat it and bring it to the field. So it is more efficient to integrate animals with crops, so that we have what's called circular agriculture, where we have the crops going into the cows and the cows producing manure, and manure goes to the crops, and that cycle continues. So it helps in terms of converting the green material into manure and through the animal instead of composting. Composting takes long, it takes about 3 months, and then you can have the right compost. So in this case, integration of cows with crops is encouraged, and that's what we do at Step Farm.